forward a little bit. Good afternoon and welcome back, y'all. Another stream, last stream in the series. Welcome back, y'all. Last stream in this series. Remember, we're moving. If you're watching this, we're moving to Twitch for future streams. So you could probably just watch them here on YouTube, anyways. I'll just be uploading cut versions, or hopefully be uploading cut versions of them, whatever we do there. That includes any future editing, YouTube success, YouTube channels, any stuff like that. I'm gonna just be streaming on Twitch, coming back here and uploading it, right? Because right now, I mean, maybe I'll come back and stream on YouTube in the future if once my subscriber count increases, hopefully, right? It should increase if I upload videos and create content that people want to watch. So these streams will be more lively. But this first stream, while I am starting out, learning the basics, doing what I can, uh, gaining skills and stuff, yeah, I don't think YouTube pushes out my streams enough for it to be worth to stay here, at least as a small streamer. That doesn't matter though. I completed this series, I completed this course. I do feel confident that I can take DaVinci Resolve and use it. Use it to create content, use it to edit videos, use it to edit audio, use it to improve the color and learn Fusion in the future, make effects, transitions, title, subtitles, zoom in, zooms out, and cinematic shorts, cinematic movies, all that cool stuff. I feel confident that I can do it with just, now all I need is the ideas. I need to film the ideas and take action. Before, even if I had the ideas and I filmed, I couldn't take action because I just didn't know what to do. Like, how do I do it? I don't know. But now I know. So now, if when I do get ideas and create content, all I have to do is sit and do, which is the purpose of taking this the longer way around. So now I feel like a pretty good foundation. I mean, it was 5 hours, and it took me almost more than 10 probably to complete the whole course, do the assignments, follow along, take quality notes that I'll be looking at for a really long time. And yeah, I'm grateful first of all to Jehovah God for allowing me to learn. Um, Professor Ferris for having a free tutorial on how to use DaVinci. I mean, yeah, the tutorials on the DaVinci website, but who's gonna know that they're there? You don't go there to see the tutorials. You go to YouTube. Even though who knows which ones would have been better or not, but we'll probably do some of those tutorials again. Not here. We'll go to Twitch and then put them back here. So if you're watching a video, or if you're watching the stream for some reason and listening to me talk, and then you're watching another video in the future of that I uploaded from streams that we did of things I'm just doing on the computer, you are a real OG. So thank you for that. But now, yeah, let's enough yapping. I think let's get right into it. Have it here, the finale, and today is gonna actually be pretty short.
Detailed with your audio. This is
yeah. Let me open up DaVinci as well. The last time we finished, we just created our own audio track. All right, I think I turn these off, and it should all work. Okay. Wow, that toilet flush is very loud. But we have the toilet here. It's still very loud. What is on there? I mean, he's outside. You shouldn't be really hearing it that loud. Now W, because when he opens, this should be louder. And this is also way too loud here. This is not loud enough. maybe it's just playing at the same time. This should just play slightly afterwards.
Just in the middle of the floor.
There.
Hello? You guys left your bikes on the steps again.
Cool, cool. My mom is talking. It would be cool to. I mean, it's irrelevant to the movie, but I was gonna think like, oh, the mom, you know. But now it's complete. This is the final thing. So now we could just move to the export page, right? He said we could choose any timeline. I mean, we could use timeline one. Here I did create two scenes of the same stuff. So I just want to see different ways to export. So this is obviously useful. You could call it done because you would think pam 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 click away and then you're done, but obviously not. And obviously to all these shots now we could go back and color grade and do all of that. But that was not the assignment for these. I did the assignments for these. I put them. I remembered. I'm done. Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, I think you said ins and outs, and then maybe that's how you export specific stuff. Plus, now that we have various timelines, where do they all show up? I just delete it. Just go here. This timeline, just zoom out, I guess. This timeline should only have these are work clips. The two versions. I think one is like I think they look almost identical, but I came back and did stuff to this one. This is like the initial one. This is the second one. The same thing. Obviously, this one has more clips. You see all the cuts there. But yeah. And if we let's look through all the timelines. Oh wait, he didn't say there was no assignment. Can I just rename this timeline right here? No. Um, how do I rename this timeline if I wanted to do that? Timeline one. You see, there's still stuff like how do I rename the timeline? Like what? Timeline. Select clips, research it. Snapping, source tracker, track, sync clock, video track, output. Oh, maybe right here. Timeline. Duplicate. Remove. So this is this timeline. Reconfront color. Timeline settings. Output color monitor. Now tag. Untag. Good take. Clear. Flags. Clip color. Uh, remove timeline. Duplicate. Click. You would think it would just be as easy as just maybe it is. Oh, there we go. It was as easy. So this was the media slash media comma no comma edit no maybe yeah media edit cut maybe underscore yeah underscore. This is literally irrelevant. I just wanted to know how to rename it just in case for the future. Media edit color and yeah media edit cut. So this well actually there's media edit. This is only the media edit. There's actually a cut timeline for like color, cut, page, multicam. So this is You just click here again and media edit page. Pages. I like the idea of set of spaces for stuff, like underscore, like you see on the underscore. So taking some inspiration from this. So we got these timelines. We're just going through the work right now. Maybe I'm just making. What is this? Fairlight. Isn't this the one I made? Oh yeah. Okay. Fairlight. Fairlight is audio, media, color. Got the color timeline. We color coded this. Mini color edited the fusion timeline where we created these clips, crazy clips with the clouds. It was super cool. Obviously, I would love to do more with the fusion in the future. Uh, I think my video qualities will get better, and that's probably what I'm gonna do next. If I continue learning this, not gonna do that right away next, because I think like I know what enough to do. I'm just gonna try to do what I can with what I have, and as I grow, I'm just gonna learn little things, apply it to a project, export, create that project, export that project, and then create a new project and learn more little things, add the other stuff to the new project, and then add new things, and that way I'll grow while still creating content, right? Because if I grow and I don't create anything, I feel like I'm not doing anything. And that is something that has happened to me in the past. Like I just grow and grow and grow, like theoretical and knowledge, but I'm not creating anything. So it never feels like accomplish anything. So I think the cool part of this whole thing is how much you really accomplish. Because I mean, if you do the assignments, if you went back and did it, if you watched the video, you could just sit there and you just listen to Professor Ferris talk for 5 hours. But if you watched and you did and you went back and you took notes, like I've done here, I feel like you will grow, and I feel like I grew through this process, and I feel accomplished having done this. Kind of sad, like that it's completed, but that's normal, you know. When you complete something, you move on. Gotta text you real quick. Like, okay, so color effects, just going through the timelines, media cut. So we went through all of that. So now I'm actually gonna do it with the Fairlight because I'm proud of the audio. The audio was fun. The audio was a lot of fun. The color page was a little frustrating for me, but this audio page was a lot of fun to do, and I could see myself using it with the sound effects, the editing, bad clips and stuff. Obviously, audio quality is important. Somebody joined the stream. Welcome. Um, I should have like a thing. I mean, I only have notification things if people subscribe or message and stuff. So yeah. So let's get right with the final part of this course.
Is the very best way to do it. And the thing that's so amazing is that Fairlight shares the timeline, just like the color page shares the timeline, and Fusion shares clips from the timeline. These three pages all work together with the edit page to help you make the very, very best project possible. Speaking of actually making a project, your project does not exist. Your movie is not a thing until you actually deliver it. So go ahead and pick a timeline that you like, maybe one of these that you've been working on, and just click on the deliver page for me. That's going to bring up our deliver interface. And this is much less complicated, much more simple, a lot less to go over here. But what the heck does the deliver page do?
Okay.
There are really three main phases here when you're talking about working with footage.
Let me take a second to wow, my phone is just going off right now. Okay. Oh, I gotta talking about my phone. I gotta make a call. Wow, rendering. got production, post production, and delivery. So taking note of this.
There's production, which is actually shooting the footage. Of course, there's pre-production before that, but then there's post-production, which is editing, effects, graphics, sound, color. That's post-production. And then there's delivery. And delivery is converting your project from a file that just lives inside of Resolve into a movie that people can actually watch, something that you can upload to YouTube, or you can give to a client or put on a website or store on a hard drive that doesn't need all of your original media. It's kind of its own thing. So that's pretty much what the deliver page does, is it takes your same timeline. Again, this shares a timeline with the edit page and everything. This will take your timeline and convert it into a movie that people can watch. Pretty simple interface. We have our viewer here, we have our timeline down here, and we have our clips right here. Clips is just a quick way to select each clip. Timeline is kind of just a way to look at what's on your timeline, but you don't really do any editing or moving anything around here. This is mostly just for reference. The big action, the big stuff happens right here in our render settings. This is where 99% of the work happens in the deliver page. This is where you decide what kind of movie format you want to make. What kind of file are you creating here? What kind of quality and resolution and encoding and audio and everything do you want? And your choice on all of that stuff is going to be dependent on what you're making. And if you have no idea what you're doing, the great news is that you can start up here with some presets. If we scroll back and forth, we have presets for YouTube, Vimeo, TikTok, all kinds of stuff. And really what any of these do when you click them is it just sets all of the settings down here. And it's really split up into 3 different tabs: video, audio, and file. Video is all about the visuals, right? Audio is the sound, and file is kind of how things are named and organized. You have an option to render this in a single clip, so just as a movie, which is what you're going to do most of the time, but you can also render your movie as individual clips. That means that you can render each clip on your timeline as a separate movie. And so for various reasons, you might want to do that. If you're wanting to convert a whole bunch of clips into separate movies, that works. If you're wanting to prepare your shots to go into a different app, or if you want to prep a bunch of media for a course like this, I used that kind of thing a lot. But most of the time you'll hit single clip, and then it gets into the details of the video. So you have to pick your format and your codec and your encoder. And if you're lost at this point, you're like, what the heck is any of that? I'll show you the most common things to pick here in just a minute, but I do want to give you a little bit of information. When you make a video file, there are basically kind of like 2 main things that you're selecting. One is the codec and the other is the container. You can think of this as if you were organizing a bunch of papers. If you had a big long document and each frame of your video was a paper, let's say. The codec is kind of the way the papers are printed and put together. So what kind of quality you used on your printer, what size of type, what kind of paper you used. It's kind of like the details, right? The container is sort of like the box that you put it in. So what's sort of confusing is you can have a codec in different containers. So examples of codecs would be DNxHD, ProRes, H.264, H.265, Cineform, and there are a bunch of others. You don't really need to know all of them. You just need to know that this is the codec. It's the specific way that video is kind of encoded and created. It's kind of like the type of images that are being made. And the container is the file format that it's kind of putting those images into. So the container is called format here in Resolve. So there are a bunch of different formats, AVI, Cineon, all kinds of color.
Okay, I need to
like the
all paper, the way the papers are printed and put together. What box and the container is what box the paper stock are in.
details, right? The container is sort of like the box that you put it in. So what's sort of confusing is you can have a codec in different containers. So examples of codecs would be DNxHD, ProRes, H.264, H.265, Cineform, and there are a bunch of others. You don't really need to know all of them. You just need to know that this is the codec. It's the specific way that video is kind of encoded and created. It's kind of like the type of images that are being made. And the container is the file format that it's kind of putting those images into. So the container is called format here in Resolve. So there are a bunch of different formats, AVI, Cineon, all kinds of stuff. Do yourself a favor, and unless you have any reason not to, select QuickTime. QuickTime will let you create videos for just about anything you need, unless you have a client that asks for something specific like an MP4 or a MXF or something like that, or if they need a series of stills like a TIFF sequence or something like that, just click QuickTime. And then the codec, there are a bunch of different codecs here, and this mostly has to do with how compressed the images are. There are very compressed formats like H.264 and H.265, and there are formats that are less compressed, things like ProRes, DNxHR, and then there, of course, is uncompressed. Never do that. Never do that. You always want some kind of compression, just because the compression is so good these days, and it's going to be an insanely massive file if you don't have compression on it, okay? Encoder, probably just leave it auto. Resolution, you're going to usually use at timeline resolution. Frame rate is usually going to be the timeline frame rate. And the rest of this, you can probably just leave as default. For audio, same thing, probably leave it as default. And for your file, you want to make sure that you name it right. You can switch it to automatically do timeline name, which is helpful if you're rendering a bunch of different timelines, or you can just set a custom name and just type it in right there. You can also tell this to use a subfolder and do a bunch of stuff that I very rarely do. So what settings should we use? Well, it's come to my attention that most things in life can be expressed with a Venn diagram, so we're going to do that here. If you've ever heard the expression that you can have a job done fast, cheap, or good, but not all three, this is kind of what we're up against for our codecs here. You can have something that's a small file size, or looks great, or plays back easily, and you can often get something that does two of these, but there isn't really a way to get all.
All file size. And I have no clue what those things mean, but I'm just taking notes on it. Maybe eventually
3. And so if you want your video to look really, really good, you have a couple options. One is you have a more compressed option, which would be like H.265. This codec looks really good and it's a small file size. A lot of cameras shoot H.265 these days. Consumer cameras, even kind of the Sony mirrorless cameras, iPhones, those will shoot H.265 because it's a small file size and it looks good. The only problem with H.265 is that it is sometimes hard to play back on some systems. Because it's so compressed, your computer has to do a lot of work to decompress it. And so it can kind of be hard to edit. Now, if you're not going to be editing this and you're just putting it out on, say, YouTube, that's a pretty good choice because it's a small file size, it's a quick upload, and it looks good. Now, there are a couple codecs. One is called ProRes, and the other one is called DNxHR, which I know sounds super technical, but it's just the name of the codecs. And those are designed to look really, really good, but their file size is big files. The advantage is that not only do they look good, but they also play back easily. They aren't as compressed, and so if you need to edit them, your computer doesn't have to work as hard. It is a bigger file, but it's also higher quality than H.265. It's especially good if you need to save it out into a video file and then convert it again later. The less compression, the better. And so ProRes or DNxHR, really, really fantastic if you need to export a video that you're going to edit more later, or if you're going to give a high quality version to somebody that they might need to cut a clip from at some point, or if you want to archive your movie so that you can go back and edit it in 5 years, ProRes or DNxHR, super great. Really, the only disadvantage is the file sizes are big. Now, we also have H.264, which actually plays back pretty easily these days, even though it is really compressed. It has a very small file size. The problem is that it doesn't look so great. It looks a little bit blurry, a little bit blocky, and especially in kind of detailed shots, not the best. And so what format do you export? Well, it depends on what is more important to you. Do you want it to look great and play back easily? That's ProRes. Do you want a small file size and have it play back easily? You don't really care if it looks that great? H.264. If you want it to look great and have a small file size and you're not that worried about actually editing it, H.265. These are probably the main codecs that you're going to run into, especially if you're a beginner. If you're doing something like creating movies for Netflix or something like that, they're going to probably want some other different kinds of codecs, but this will do great to get you started. So what's nice is up here in our render settings, we have some presets. So I can just select H.264, H.265, or ProRes, and that's going to set my settings to be probably just plenty good until you get much more nerdy about this. If you have the paid version of Resolve, you can render H.265. Literally clicking on H.265 master and setting a file name is a lot of the time what I do when I'm rendering something out. That is a great small video file that you can upload to YouTube or play back on a website. You can give to people and generally they can play it back. It's a little less compatible and a little bit harder to play back than H.264, so be aware of that, do some tests. The other thing is that I believe on PC, if you have the free version of Resolve, it won't let you render H.265. I think you have to do H.264. So this is yet another reason to get the paid version of Resolve because you can render out H.265 in the free version. On Mac, I believe you can just render out H.265, no big deal, but there's some licensing thing with the Windows version or something. But ideally, if you're going to render out to something like YouTube, I would just click on H.265 master and call it good. The optional step, the thing that I would recommend if you're going to render for YouTube is click on this resolution and upres this. So if you have like say a 1080p video, I would switch this to Ultra HD. That's going to render this out at 4 times the resolution. Why the heck would we need that? Well, it doesn't actually make the image look any better. There's no magic there. What it does is if you're going to put this on YouTube, if you upload an Ultra HD video to YouTube, YouTube uses a different compression and the video ends up looking better on YouTube. So it's really kind of just tricking YouTube to be nicer to the video, which I know is kind of weird, but that's a great way to do it. So if you're rendering out for YouTube, H.265 master, and then upres to Ultra HD. Once you have all your settings set, and so we'll just call this movie-YT for YouTube. Once you have your settings set, you can pick a location. I'll just browse. I'll just put this on my desktop. You should put it somewhere else. Okay, don't put it on your desktop. That's lame. And then we go down here and select Add to Render Queue. Because I'm upresing this, it's telling me, hey, you know this isn't actually going to look any better, right? Like it's really, why are you doing this? And you just say, it's okay, just add. I know what I'm doing. And that's going to add a job here to the render queue. And so this is like a to-do list. You're telling it to render this timeline to the desktop in H.265 format, but it's not actually going to render it out and convert it into a movie until I hit this render button right here. Now, Why didn't it just render it? Well, you can make multiple different versions of your movie for different purposes. Maybe I want to render out a different version. Maybe one somebody can just watch on their computer. There's no reason to upres this to Ultra HD, so I could just switch back to timeline resolution. We'll call this movie, we'll just say computer, okay? Add to render queue, that's gonna add that. And then let's say maybe I want a version of my movie that's really high quality that I'm just going to kind of put on an external hard drive or put on a server or back up somehow, just so that I have it. I just want the highest quality version of this video so that I can keep it safe. That's what we would call an archive version. To make an archive version in 2025, what I would do is select this ProRes preset, and honestly, that's probably good. Probably just do that. If you want to, you can go into the type and select something like ProRes 4444 or the XQ version, and this is going to be higher quality. Chances are you probably won't actually notice a difference. ProRes 422HQ is fantastic. And so then I would call this movie archive. The other thing I would do is go to the audio tab, make sure this codec is linear PCM. That means WAV files, files that aren't compressed. I can push up this bit depth. If you want the very highest quality audio, you could go to 32-bit float, sure. And then this is really cool. You can output different audio tracks for your movie. So you could have 16 different audio tracks if you want to, and you could render each track in your mix as a separate track. And so this is great for something like an archive where you might want to go in and remove some audio or replace the music or remix your audio or whatever you want to do down the road. This is a great thing to do for your archive version. And so right here, output track 1, I'm just going to actually switch this to all timeline tracks like this. And that's going to render all the timeline tracks. Now for this one, I only have one track. If we switch over to our Fairlight timeline, we have all these different tracks and we can render each one of these as a separate track. Isn't that awesome? So I'll go ahead and add this to render queue. And once we have all of the different formats we want, all we have to do is hit render all. And that'll go through pretty quick and render our movie. And let me just show you this archive version here. Let's just add this to a new timeline. Check this out. So we have our high quality video here, but we also have all of the tracks that it rendered out as separate tracks, which is so cool. And now if we have this video file, we have all of the audio and visual in the highest quality possible, all in one file that we can go through and edit later if we want to. We can open up in 10 years and render to some new format that's even better. And it's kind of future-proofing yourself. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much the deliver page. Is you set your render settings here, you add them to the render queue, you can kind of stack them up and then render your project. So at this point, we pretty much covered all of the need to know stuff about DaVinci Resolve. And I hope that this is really encouraging and empowering for you. I hope that you feel like you can jump into Resolve and actually start using it. If we've never met before, my name is Casey and I'm part of a company called Ground Control. And our mission is to encourage you and empower you to be able to make things that you want to make. That's a really big part of what I feel like my purpose is here on Earth, is to tear down anything that's in the way of creativity so that you can express yourself and make the things that you want to make, because that's good for the world and it's good for you. It's good for your mental health. It's good for, so much stuff. So that's one of the big reasons why we made this video, is it needs to exist. Resolve is one of the most powerful tools for post-production available, and it's free, and you can get started so easily. And so I never want knowledge or confusion about an interface to be what's in the way of you creating things. And if you've watched this far in the video, odds are you're probably pretty serious about getting better at Resolve. And so whether you're brand new to video editing or just brand new to Resolve, I want you to make sure that you get that media and you open it up, you play around, you start to edit, you start to mess around with Fusion and mess around with color grading and mess around with audio. Actually put this stuff into practice, because that's where you're really, really gonna learn. Go out and shoot some videos with your phone, throw it into the timeline and cut it up and start making videos. They don't have to be perfect, they don't have to be amazing, just start making stuff. It's so important. We find that our students that get the most out of our videos and courses are the ones that really put their hands on and start working and start actually learning things by doing. And so I want you to do that in any way that you can. Now, if you need some help with that, if you need a little bit of direction, something a little bit more solid than go shoot something with your phone, we do have a course that we just made called Make a Film in DaVinci Resolve. This is really the perfect next step after you watch this video, because now you have a foundation of how the heck Resolve works and all of the important things that you need to know to be able to make stuff. But where the rubber really hits the road, where it really starts to lock into your brain, is when you go through the whole workflow of making a project from beginning to end. And so what we did is we shot a movie and we got all of the media together that you would need to be able to edit that movie. This isn't a really long movie, it's a little short film, but it has all of the unedited, ungraded footage, all of the sound effects and graphics and assets that you need. And we packaged them up in a little kit, and then I recorded an entire walkthrough of creating the project from very beginning, like just holding a bunch of media, going, I don't know what to do with this, I don't even know how to organize it, to making the rough cut and getting your story laid out in the edit page, doing some pretty impressive visual effects in the Fusion page, doing the color grade, matching the shots, mixing the audio and making it look and sound beautiful, all the way to final render. We walk you through the entire process of creating that from start to finish. And that's a little bit more than you get with this video, where we have examples of things that you can do in each page, but it's not like a cohesive project. And when you put that project together yourself and you have ownership over that edit, and then you're doing the effects and you're doing the color grade all in one thing, at the end, you're gonna have a film that you can show your friends and family and say, I edited this entire film from start to finish. Everything that you see was touched by me. And that's such a cool feeling, and I want that for you. So if you want to take the next step and you watched through this video and you said, man, I just cannot get enough of this, the perfect next thing to do is to check out this course. There's a link in the description. I'll also put a link on screen right there-ish. And because you watched this video all the way through, you'll get a special discount. Does that sound good? But either way.
So let's check it out. Probably not gonna do that right now. I'm doing it more hands-on. But let's see how much this is. $211, of course. The end-to editing course. The end-to-end editing course. Yeah, of course, $211. That's a lot. Right now. The discount is though pretty cool. Our collection of 12 creative color looks that are insanely useful in any project. Add them into your gallery and Resolve and use them to stylize any video. Power looks. So like add-ons to Resolve. I mean, they gotta make money somehow. So I respect this. From the looks of it, I think this is great. This is what I would do next. However, I did not like the film that they were editing, and even though the thing that they edited doesn't really matter, I just didn't like the film. But $211. There you go. If you're here and you watched the course and you did it with me, or you did it yourself, there you go. Learn end-to-end risk-free for 30 days. If any reason you don't like the best Resolve end-to-end filmmaking course ever, give you your money back within 30 days of purchase. That means no risk. Just go to an opportunity to take your videos to the next level. In terms of use, I would go for that. Take this course no matter what type of film video project you're working on. This will be a huge asset in helping you through the process. Not all of Casey's courses, piece by piece, I'm learning this thing. There is something far more efficient about learning from well-crafted course versus the hit and miss of YouTube grazing. Yeah, like I wouldn't just do random videos. Definitely find full courses like this that you could use and make your own films. And this sounds very interesting. I don't like the movie, but I would still try to do this in the future, maybe. Right now, my biggest thing is I want to do this, the DaVinci Resolve training, and then the books, and then to get the certificates. I would also do that. They also provide maybe less hands-on, but I mean, he taught us, like, that's the point. You go here, you come here, and then you do the lesson file one part, and you do it. You download for the PDF for free, and then you do the exam and see if you pass. And at least you have the certifications. I mean, I don't think it matters, but certifications always matter. So that would be my free If you, let's say you don't have the budget, you're doing it like me, you just want to, you're grazing your feet, you're doing what you can, you're starting a YouTube channel, you needed the basics. This video is amazing for all the basics. I'm so grateful to have been able to find it and watched it. He has a 2 hour on just the fusion stuff here for free. Like, but if you do need something more hands-on, like he says, make a film sounds like a great project for you or anyone to do, and it'll be similar to what we were doing here, where he gives you all the media, but he goes, it's a more tutorial. He goes and shows you his workflow, how to do it, and you're more hands-on and more tools. I would do the same thing, take notes, study, of course. I wonder if he'll let me stream it. If I buy his course, will he allow me to stream it? You know, that's the biggest thing. Because obviously, I don't want to give his course away for free, but can I stream it? You know, like it's not like people will search, oh, Casey's make a film full course here for free on this stream. Watch with me. Maybe not. One thing I do want to do now that we're done, I will export. Well, you know, we're not done. I didn't follow along with the export stuff. Custom export, YouTube 1080p, 21p, right? Ultra, and add to render queue. Oh, location. Oh, browse. Gotta choose a location. This PC, desktop, YouTube. New video. Oh, here, completed video. Oh, this is the completed. I'm already using videos, completed videos, and Fairlight timeline. We edit, save. And now can I add to render queue? Add. And then there it is. From noob to pro, Fairlight timeline, completed video. And then I guess what if I switch to Fusion timeline right now? And can I just add this to render queue? Will it render it together? Render one. Oh, it will. That's how you can have multiple timelines and then come here at the end and make it a coherent thing. You know what? That makes sense. Um, I do have H.264 master. Let's see, Fusion. Let's see if we'll do it. Quick audio. We obviously want to do that thing where it says timeline frame rate, same as timeline. To make it really high quality, but you do, oh, timeline resolution, full, oh, what was it, 37, no, full aperture, no, square, ultra HD, oh, add to render queue, add, hey, I can, yo, maybe it's because I'm on the version 21, I would go for this, from H225, H2.5, you know, it's nice, now I know, I know what I'm looking at, 1080p, YouTube. Yo, that's so cool. I'm not gonna actually render it because it would just take up space. Maybe I should because I feel like deleting all these files is just they're gonna take up space in my computer. But it's like you never want to throw away your projects, right? You never want to throw away your projects just in case you need them in the future. But we're done. I'm pretty comfortable with it. I mean, we also have them here on YouTube, so it's not like I didn't do anything with them. So yeah, pretty much done. Close this out. We're done. Course complete officially. today, one last thing I do want to do is come here and give him to say thank you. Uh, hey, Professor Paris, um, just wanted to comment that today, what is it today? May 25th, 2026. I completed this tutorial. I completed this whole tutorial. I completed this whole tutorial. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. Very much for uploading content like this. It was super cool. And I had a capital I, a lot of fun doing it. I also streamed, I misspelled streamed somehow. Isn't a streamed, retype it, just streamed my whole journey on my channel. Hope that was okay. Fantasy. I hope that was okay. Obviously, it's okay, but you know, I wanted to. For if for any reason, uh, just watch the end part of the finale. Maybe I shouldn't tell him to watch anything. Uh, so I'm just gonna take this part out. I actually don't want to tell him to watch anything. I hope that was okay. Just gonna tell him I did stream it, and that's it. Hey, Professor Ferris. Obviously, Ferris needs to be capital. Just wanted to comment and then that today, punctuation, 26, capital letter. This whole core, this whole tutorial. Thank you, right, Term. Thank you for uploading content like this. It was super cool, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I also streamed my whole journey on my channel. Hope that was okay. Thank you again. Thank you again. And I don't know if it's a oh Jehovah. Your generosity. Big key. Yeah. Seven days ago, bro. I commented here. How many comments does this video have? 3,200 comments, yo. Crazy. It's not working. The link is not working. It worked for me. Dude, the fact that there's 3,000 comments and you responded, crazy. Cool. Well, that's all, you all. Thank you for being here today. I'll see you all in the next stream whenever I do that. Peace. Have a great day. Enjoy your life. It was fun.